Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. It is Friday. It is Friday the 13th. Remember, I'm interested in, are you a Freddy Krueger or Jason from Friday the 13th? Which one scared you more as a kid? For me, it was Freddy Krueger. That guy freaked me out those first two things. It was crazy, scary. I couldn't sleep the first time. I was like 13 or something. Man, I was frightened. But anyways, let's welcome Stephen down to the show. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, Mike. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. So let me ask you, who scared you more, Jason or Freddy?
Oh no, Freddy for sure. And I think we're about probably similar in age, maybe, because I was around that, maybe a little bit older. I would say maybe like 15.
Yeah.
But yeah, it scared the bejeebies out of me too. So
I can imagine going to sleep. I was like,
well, that was the whole thing where, the premise was as soon as you fell asleep, so you couldn't go to sleep, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was just like a vicious cycle. So yeah, and then you start to see things because of, sleep deprivation. So it's like, it
was nuts.
That was my guy too. So
yeah. Anyways, so what we're going to talk about here, folks, is a lot of the business that ORAT family is calling Stephen about. There's a lot of exciting things on. Some of you out there are doing repeat business. You're really looking to leverage cheaper capital than hard money or your private money. You're looking to partner with a public company like Velocity Mortgage. But before we talk about that stuff, Stephen, let's go ahead and do that marketing 101 thing.
Thank you, sir. Although I work for Velocity Mortgage Capital happily, all the ideas and topics discussed on this channel are that of my own.
Very cool. So I want to talk about this in a couple of aspects. Yeah, so let's talk about a couple of things. First and foremost, I know you've gotten a lot of ORAT family that are investing in, I'll call it cheaper markets, just price points are cheaper. And they're doing blanket loans, right? They're putting together 3, 4, 5, 6 properties. So I know there's a lot of ORAT family that are thankful to have that option. So why don't you just talk about some of the phone calls and some of the packages you've seen?
Well, I mean, in varying stages of their investment journey, as well as different market spaces and property types and loan amounts. But as far as blanket loans, I do have a couple in process now where, at the smaller dollar amount, it just doesn't make sense with other lenders, basically 50,000, 80,000, things of that nature. So they're able to then kind of qualify for something around that range, but on a blanket loan, process. So I've got a deal right now. I sent out the application. We're waiting. We're basically doing 3 properties. I believe they're about 50,000 each, but now they only have to come in with 10,000 each, 30,000 down. We're covering the rehab on them. Yeah, it's working out, and we're able to do that separately. But I'm honoring the fee structure for a blanket loan because typically I would charge you the full price on the first property, and then for every additional property added would only be about a $500 additional fee. So it saves you in the scope of a blanket loan, but you can't do that on our ARV product because again, it's different schedules of improvements for each property. So it's too hard to sync all 3 to be able to disperse on one blanket loan. So I'm doing them separately, but still honoring the fee structure. So it's still a win-win. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course, of course. Yeah, what I'm seeing again, because a lot of my students kind of reach out to me after they reached out to you and said, hey, thanks, this guy's a lifesaver, he's fast, all of that stuff. Not everybody gets a yes answer, which is fine, but everybody gets a quick answer. So I appreciate that. Right. What I've seen is, a lot of people are doing the ARV because they're buying fixers. They're using that program, but I've also seen some people reach out saying, hey, I own 3, 4, 5 free and clear, but I want to take some debt equity off the table. Why don't we do 50%? So I know there's some people doing that as well. Yes.
Correct. Again, trying to tap into equity, but keeping, their cost a little bit on the lower side. So best terms as far as interest rates is at 50% LTV or lower. So we're kind of, strategizing because again, we just want to structure the best terms given the resources that we have as far as the available, properties to finance, and then their circumstances or their needs. So it kind of takes somewhat of the initial phone call to strategize, and we go over, specific details and such. So we've been able to accommodate a lot of different situations. In particular, one from yesterday, long, great call with the gentleman. He's bought into a particular service that basically finds investment properties for him, crunches all the numbers, and then basically also provides, I believe, the property management as well as the rehab team as well. So they have a particular process, and I'm trying to sync it up with ours in order to, you know, leverage our money instead of him coming out of pocket. So it might work out to where he's going to be able to participate in more, because right now he's leveraged all his own liquid assets, and then he can't participate as much because he's ran out of money to be able to do, you know, more deals. So now he sees the benefit of leveraging my money. It cash flows, it's yielding. So it's not like it's a debt in particular. He's just now able to, you know, jump into more deals without, you know, going broke basically, or being zero in his bank account.
So I want to summarize what I think you said. So again, I don't know what this service is. It doesn't matter. But basically, there's a one rental at a time.
Sure.
I don't know, student or follower who has somebody out there finding deals, and then will manage the rehab, manage the property management. Where before this, let's just use some fake numbers. Let's say the package was 75 grand for a unit. Before, he would have to write the check for 75 grand, or at least most of that, maybe disperses repairs as needed. But that's all cash, right? There's no debt. So he's really capped out by how big his reserves are. Now he comes to you and plugs you in. You come in with, I don't know, 70% of debt. He can now do 3x more deals because he's only coming in for the 30.
Correct.
That's what you're saying?
Yes. On the ARV, he's only having to come in with 20%.
Oh,
so we're covering 80% of the purchase and 100% of the rehab. Whereas before, you know, he was having to basically come up with all the rehab as well as purchase cash. So then he's totally leveraged with no liquid assets left. So his money's all tied up in that, and he's having to wait at least 6 months or longer, you know, flipping or refining right in the burr. So now he's able to participate into more properties, because this company that he's, you know, kind of aligning himself with, they've got other projects, but he's just not liquid enough to be able to participate. Now, if I can sync up our financing, he's like, oh my God, game changer, because he just wants to pick them up because they're going to gain in value, the cash flowing. And so why not? So the yield is now multiplied versus just one particular, you know, property, because all his money's tied up into that property.
Wow.
So no, it's going to hopefully work out. We'll see if we can sync it up. I think we can. There's got to be a way.
There's got to be a way. Yeah. One of the things I want to tell the ORAT family again, you know, if you can get bank loans, go get bank loans. They're cheaper. 100%. They're just cheaper.
Always start off with that.
Yeah, always start there. But a lot of you that are following this channel can't, either because you've already got 10, maybe you're self-employed, maybe you're buying fixers, and banks really don't like fixers today. So if that's where you are, if you want to get in a process like this other gentleman, I suggest just sending you an email, sdow@velocitymortgage.com, and setting up a call. Just talk about what you're looking at. Phone calls,
worth the email, because what I found, at least use me as a sounding board, because, you know, again, if you've got something, you know, that's pretty good, you never really know unless you kind of find out if, you know, what else is out in the universe. But yeah, I mean, I can't be everything to everybody. There won't always be a yes, but it'll at least be a fast no.
Yeah, folks, do yourself a favor. If you're in this business and for whatever reason you can't, or it's just too hard to get bank loans, reach out to Stephen Dow, SDow at Velocity Mortgage. Episode 1 today, I told you about the second deal I'm pushing through, or we'll get done with Velocity Mortgage. It's a new acquisition. Last week, I'm doing a refi on a building. So yes, I do use them, and we'll be getting a couple loans with them shortly. Yeah, just have a conversation, run the numbers, right? The first video today, I ran the numbers. I'm going to get a 7% yield on a property in a market and with a 50% loan. So, you know, it works for me. So Stephen, thanks again for all your help and being a good resource for the ORAT family.
Oh, no, I appreciate it. And looking forward to many more, you know, conversations with some of the ORAT family. So thanks again, man. Have a good day.
All right.